In the top stories, another complaint that bureaucracy is preventing foreign investment in Barbados, an extension of sorts in government's tax amnesty program, and West Indies are watching the weather ahead of a crucial World Cup clash. Welcome to Nation News for Friday, March 13th, 2015. I'm Natasha Beckles.
No matter where you are in the world, at home or abroad, Nation News keeps you connected with what's happening in Barbados through our website, video newscast, and online e-papers. So stay connected with Nation News. News, your time, your way.
We begin with what has become a recurring complaint that red tape and bureaucracy are hampering investment opportunities in Barbados. Executive Director of the Caribbean Fine Arts Fair, Anderson Pilgrim, is the latest businessman to express frustration. He says he has been forced to launch the annual show without the full number of exhibits because some pieces are yet to clear customs. He told Nation News this is not the first time this has happened in the 5 years he has been bringing the show to Barbados. And though he has raised the issue with officials in the past, Mr. Pilgrim says there has been little change. He noted that the show attracted about 50 artists from 15 countries, and many of them are interested in investing in the island. Legislation is on the way to deal with motorists whose vehicles spew carbon monoxide or black smoke into the atmosphere. Word of this comes from Environment Minister Dr. Dennis Lowe, who says his ministry has received a number of complaints about the issue. He told the media he has also spoken to the Minister of Transport with a view to having emission testing of vehicles on the cards before the legislation is introduced. Dr. Lowe was speaking on Friday following the launch of St. Bartholomew's Primary School's recycling program and center. Barbados is getting a grant of $35 million from the European Union. Head of the EU delegation to Barbados, Ambassador Michael Barford, says the money represents continuing support for the island's Human Resource Development Program. Barbados will receive a total of $130 million from the EU for that program over several months.
Ongoing interventions under the Human Resource Development Program include the design and development of a national qualifications framework, qualifications register, and knowledge management system. Development of a new macroeconomic model for the country will be undertaken this year. So too will be strengthening of the personnel administration, training administration divisions, and development of a new productivity and competitiveness index. In addition, we are also supporting assessment of professional and investment opportunities in the areas of sports and culture.
Ambassador Barford was speaking during a media conference on Friday morning. Also present was Finance Minister Chris Sinclair, who said human resource development should respond to national and global changes.
The Human Resource Development Program seeks to unleash that potential among Barbadians across a number of spectrums. Of course, the central focus in this case is among public sector employees, but it is not indeed limited to public sector employees. It is in fact extended to all Barbadians. The program, by my advice, has been going exceedingly well. The ministries and departments have been meeting their targets. Indeed, we've designed that program similar to how we did the HIV/AIDS program with the World Bank. It is cross-sectoral, interdisciplinary, and reaches almost every segment of endeavor across the services provided in Barbados.
Taxpayers have been given an additional day to make payments on the government's tax amnesty program. March 16th will be the final payment date since the previous deadline of March 15th falls on a Sunday. The amnesty is being offered to all taxpayers on interest and penalties accrued at December 31st, 2014 on land tax, value-added tax, and income tax. Bridgetown came alive on Friday as a number of civic groups paraded through the streets carrying the flags of the 53 member states of the Commonwealth. The Royal Barbados Police Force and its Moncton Division accompanied the parade, which started at the Ministry of Education and ended in Heroes Square. The flags were hoisted and flown in the Parliament courtyard, while the Barbados Legion went through the changing of the guard routine. The event formed part of local Commonwealth Day celebrations. Barbadians are taking advantage of the free glaucoma screenings being offered this week. Glaucoma specialist Dr. Dawn Grosvenor spoke to Nation News on Friday during an expo at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital.
The response has been extremely good, overwhelming almost. All the practices have been well patronized, and we asked people this year to make appointments because they were actually oversubscribed last year, and we found that by Tuesday most places were booked, so we added some additional screenings as the week went along. We still have the final screening day tomorrow, Saturday, which will be here at the QEH Eye Clinic to accommodate those people that didn't get in during the week. That's going to be first come, first served, and we know that we usually see hundreds of people on that day, so it's quite a long wait. And we say to people, if you don't get in this week, there's always next year. There are different activities throughout the year that we might do, other opportunities for screening, and the other practitioners in the private sector are always available.
The expo was one event held during Glaucoma Week. 2 homes were destroyed and 3 others damaged when fire struck in Halls Road, St. Michael on Thursday evening. An elderly woman also suffered burns to her arm in the blaze which broke out just before 5. 2 water tenders, 1 water tanker, and 10 fire officers responded. In sport, West Indies will be keeping a close eye on the weather ahead of tomorrow night's crucial fixture against United Arab Emirates in the ICC Cricket World Cup. Team manager Sir Richie Richardson said the Windies were keeping their fingers crossed for sunshine, even as tropical cyclone Pam set its sights on New Zealand's east coast. The Category 5 storm is the most powerful to hit the Pacific in 3 decades. However, Sir Richie said once West Indies reached the quarterfinals, their chances would be as good as any other team. And finally, an Indian bride has walked out of her wedding ceremony after the groom failed to solve a simple math problem. The question she asked, how much is 15 plus 6? His reply, 17. The groom's family tried persuading the bride to return, but she refused, saying he had misled her family about his education. Local police mediated between the families, and both sides returned all the gifts and jewelry that had been exchanged before the wedding. And that's Nation News for Friday. For more, log on to nationnews.com, as well as YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. Look out for our entertainment package a little later, and remember, we'll be bringing you an all-new Sunday Sun on Sunday. Thanks for joining us, and do enjoy your weekend.